Three, two, what is up, everybody? You're listening, watching to the Book of Gaberock. I am your host, Gabriel Villa. Back on the mic. Back on the mic. I want to say, first of all, a shout out to everybody who tuned into the launch of the new platform. I made a return back to the mic and to the camera about a year. It's also been like I've been offline for like a year. So I wanted to make sure that if I had a reason to say something and I was motivated, the world would tell me what needed to happen. And so it definitely, part of the reason why it started launching, because I'll tell you what, uh, within the last year, actually on October 20th, I recently had some rotator cuff surgery. So like I'm in week 4 of recovery. And so during those first 2 weeks, I was at the house, really just enjoying the time off, but definitely having to play it smartly. And all that time gave me a lot of things to ponder and started organizing my thoughts. And that's kind of like how the launch of it started happening, because I was just at home by myself. The wifey goes at work. We are empty nesters now. For those who are keeping track, this has been our son Benjamin moved out to Arizona State University. I moved him in this summer. So far this fall, the wifey and we still have our Sally in the house. But it's been kind of it was awkward for the first 2-3 days, and then it didn't suck. So so a lot of the houses, but he is coming back home for the holidays next month. Looking forward to having him back home. But yeah, so during that recovery time, I was like, oh, I'm going to start cooking. I started getting really honing my mind on how I want to do this platform. And that's part of the reason why, like, there's a different kind of format, right? Now I wanted to make sure I wanted to challenge myself and write down some of my leadership thoughts and alternate them with this kind of content as far as like a freestyle session. A little bit more probably familiar with my former listeners from Constant Innovation, the kind of content I would put out there. So very much looking forward to getting back on the mic. And if you notice, the byline of the Book of Gaberock is analog leadership in digital. I dig that. I'm still deep into, for those who don't know, I'm a active duty Air Force officer. I'm actually a communications officer, cyber ops by trade. I've been doing this for 20 plus years. And so my background is in IT, but my true background is leadership. That's the reason why I want to be able to share my thoughts, share my perspectives, try and pay it forward. I have way less runway in front of me than I have behind me. Hopefully next month I'll be sharing some news as far as what my next gig is going to be. We'll be leaving here, the state of Florida, summer 26th, seeing what's going to be our next potentially final chapter of the Air Force. Looking forward to that. And so as soon as I know, you'll know. But I wanted to share. I like the phrase analog leadership, because I'm still. I know I'm an OG. I'm on that side of the spectrum. I'm good with that. Like, I actually very, very grateful and thankful for my experiences that I had over my career, and I feel like I'm still in the position that I can offer advice, offer some guidance to the next, trying to raise the people who are going to be replacing, and they're going to be entering a different kind of Air Force, different kind of challenges. But I want to make sure that I decide to hang it up, that I did my best to make sure leave a positive impact. Been really what else is happening? I had shoulder surgery. I just recently went back into the gym, so I'm still coaching at CrossFit Inclusion. Shout out to Steven. So like the whole team I got like a really cool get well card earlier this week, and trying to demonstrate that even though I'm doing recovery mode, I still got 2 working legs, so I do a lot of lower body. But trying to figure out how I can stay smart in the game. I'll definitely be updating different kind of fitness updates, things that are going on different. Right? The thing is, I head into being 46 next year. I have a different priorities of what I'm working on as far as my fitness game. But I'm still out here, still a believer in CrossFit, still a believer in just getting up and doing stuff. I think actually not that I have a fitness base, but my fitness base definitely helped me probably speed up my recovery. Glad to get back on the game. Sure, try and stay healthy as much as possible. All right, so like I said, this format is going to be an alternate between writing certain entry into the Book of Gaberock and giving you some freestyle behind the scenes as far as why I chose to write that article. So entry 1 was the dangerous disease of the distant. First of all, if you know me, I like alliteration. So as soon as I started coming up with that, I'm like, that's the one I'm talking about when I'm in the groove. And when I hit an alliteration moment, I know I'm. And so that was definitely some interesting kind of piece. It was an interesting piece because I didn't realize until I started, until first of all, a trusted homie who will stay trusted, we shared some conversations as far as what they were noticing with addiction. This is where we came up with like kind of the difference between disconnected and a distant. I do think there are some distinctions between the two. I go in the article, but like really, the distant one is almost fuzzier. Like you don't really recognize it because you're almost gonna get like tricked or like hand waved into the thing of like, no, that person is actually part of the organization. But when it comes to difficult things, that person decides to disappear. That's crazy, right? Someone who talks a big game and actually tries to project like the current, like they could be more of like that headpiece. And there are leaders who are really good at just being the ambassador, that front representative of the organization. But if you actually aren't pulling your weight and making hard decisions that probably are you hired to make, and you're the only one that can make them, your team is actually going to suffer even more because you're indecisive, letting the down. So that's why I want to talk about like have to be cognizant of where you notice those things. But if you know me, I'm not a problem admirer. I'm not just going to say, hey, there's this bad thing and walk off and not give a recommendation. The recommendation is just teamwork, right? Teamwork is actually, I think, being able to collaborate with your partner, your teammates, either laterally or within wherever in the organization. If you can demonstrate positive momentum when that person is gone, you may not even notice because you created an environment where those persons inputs potentially could just be a formality, but like we've already done all the work, and so they would be a fool in order to kind of overwrite. So that's a reason why, like when you see a disconnected or a distant leader, teamwork. That's the kind of stuff that you can actually work on. So really big. I'm a huge advocate for working like relentlessly, and sometimes people don't like that because I'm not confrontational, but I'm not going to back down. I love being able to, the analog thing that I talk about is face-to-face conversation, group conversation. I love having those kind of pieces because I think people get really brave on email or choose not to say certain things electronically. But when you're face-to-face, be like, you're going to keep that same energy. Let's talk about these. So that's why I think analog leadership, that the ability to speak to each other, speak face-to-face or within a group, is really important because it just makes everything go faster. Part of that is making sure you better step good. You have to be prepared in order to have those in-person conversations. But that's what you should be doing anyway, right? As part of your job is to make sure that you're providing the best inputs to solve a problem, and then you work together towards what's good. If it's a difficult decision, it is what it is. But like that's what you're paid to do. Get on with it. Your team is looking at you, especially if you're at the adult table and your subordinates expect you to make leadership decisions and set the tone for making progress. Your responsibility is to make sure you actually do something and not just be a council of problem. I'm really allergic to that idea. So that was like part of the reason why I recorded last week's episode. Next week again, we'll have the next entry. I already have like 3 entries written. So like I'm going to be alternating back and forth as far as the written, more of like the recorded deliberate episodes and freestyle up. So you can really find these free. If you're interested in listening to or watching this, I actually upload this video to YouTube. I'll also publish them to kind of podcasting platform. So definitely look forward to more content. We are heading into the Thanksgiving week, so it's going to be a short week for us at work. Very glad that we're out of the government shutdown and we're already heading right into Israel. I'll be at work serving Thanksgiving meals with my teammates and being grateful for our personnel manning the watch floor. And just it's only just the wifey and I. Spoiler, here's what we're actually, this is crazy. We are not eating a traditional Thanksgiving. It's only me and her. So like I could have gone to like Whole Foods or whatever it is and bought like a Thanksgiving kit for 2 and cook it all. But we were like, what? We sort of like Thanksgiving food. Really, we like the Thanksgiving like event, right? And so the family thing. So Lana and Ben, they're going to be at their grandma's house and have a huge family thing. Very glad they're going to be out there. Just me, the wife, and Sally. So we were like, well, I mean, we sort of like it. You know what we like? Sushi. Are we eating sushi for Thanksgiving? Yes. It's going to be amazing. Have a lazy brunch. I'm going to go to work and serve a Thanksgiving meal and wifey. Jeez. It is what it is. And we'll head into the long weekend. We're going to start decorating the house, probably the inside of the house. Then we'll come home right after, like mid-December. And I'm looking forward to having, and we'll head into the rest of the team. Thanks again for tuning into the Book of Gaberock. Again, you can go to bookofgaberock.com to find the written content, the blog content, the recorded podcast, the video thing, just go ahead and bookmark the bookofgaberock.com to coming up with. And if you have any questions or comments and certain things that you'd like to have advice for, go and leave a comment in the YouTube channel or send me a note. Definitely be willing to take on some questions and see if I can offer some advice. I tend to come up with hopefully some creative solutions to common problems, but I'm more than happy to help them out. So, team, again, hope you all have a happy Thanksgiving this week, and talk in like 2 weeks. Can't stop, won't stop.